Thank you for tuning in to episode 20 of the I Don't Be Knowing podcast, but we must warn you, today's episode may contain explicit content not suitable for family and friends. So feel free to stop this episode right now and go listen to some of our other episodes or check out our bonus content on our IG page. You can always find us at I Don't Be Knowing. For the rest of you, stick around as this one's going to be a little different. What's good, everybody? I'm Trox.
It's your boy Reese.
What up with ya, man? Wait, it's Halloween, Reese. We might need to change that main up. What up with ya, man? Halloween on this gent. Let's get. All right, before we get into today's topic, today's episode, I'm going to go ahead and set you up. This is episode 20. Next episode will be episode 21, and we will talk about an underground network of thugs that prey on others for recreational drug use, murder their own young, and gang up to defile their own female population. And they don't even live on land. Reese, you got any idea what I'm talking about?
Ace Ventura?
Man, he might have something to do with it too. But if you're interested in that, you need to make sure you are subscribed and you tune into episode 21 of the I Don't Be Knowing podcast so you can find out who these eerily smiley bandits actually are. But today, on this special Halloween episode, we have a topic that is just as scary. One that may even haunt you, especially if you live in North Carolina.
What up, man? How we gonna have a topic about something in my backyard? You all the way in California. You ain't gotta deal with this, man. Nah, we gotta lighten the mood up a little bit, man. But I got some a routine I've been working on, man. Can I test some out on you, man?
I'm sure the audience will love to hear it. Me, not so much, but go for it.
Hey, you ain't got a choice, man. But what do you call a guy that throws his laptop in the water?
A guy that throws...
I got you. Adele rolling in the deep. Got that? What happens when you get a little water on the table?
Please, just make it stop.
A pool table.
Oh, the cringe from within. Oh, but okay. I get what you're doing. You are definitely setting up our water ad. So, okay, Reese. All right, I'll give you 2 points there. Yeah, for the rest of you who may not be familiar with what we do here, this is where we insert our fake ad about water. This is where we say, today's episode of the I Don't Be Knowing podcast is brought to you by H2O. Maurice sips some fake water and makes a kind of noise, and then I come in and say, hey, and if you like this advertisement style, hit us up on our IG, hit us up on our Facebook, or shoot us an email and find out how our show could assist your advertising needs with your products. It's as simple as that. So let's make it happen, people. Hit us up. We want to get in there and figure it out. Now, Reese, let's go ahead and get into the show, brother.
Hold on. I got one more, and this is the best one. I got to get this one off. Okay. There are 2 reasons why you should never drink toilet water. And you know what those are?
2. No, Reese, I don't.
Number 1 and number 2.
Man, start the damn show. All right, y'all. So, before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode, I got one more housekeeping nugget to drop off with you all. You gotta make sure you're following us on Instagram so you can find out what our secret bonus content is per episode. We go into some off-script stuff every single time. All you all who like me and Reese's wandering through the woods of our podcast, those long-winded statements that seem to go nowhere, they're now moved over to the bonus content. So make sure you follow us on IG so you never miss a minute of the bunny podcast. What is the bunny podcast? I don't even of the bonus content.
Don't Google that.
Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself.
Probably not.
All right. So, Reese, since you want to hit me off with some jokes and some questions, I got a couple for you, okay?
All right.
All right, so as we highlighted or as we teased at the top of the episode, we're going to get into some haunting facts about North Carolina. It's more about the folklore than the facts, but I do want to know what you know about our dearest home state. So if I gave you a ranking and asked you to rank North Carolina 1 through 3, meaning we're either the first, second, or third state in these rankings, I want to know what you would guess. So first and foremost, North Carolina ranking in tobacco production. Are we first, second, or third in the U.S.?
Number one for sure.
Ding, ding, ding. The boy is right. Okay. What about North Carolina pork industry?
Pork industry. I might have a little inside knowledge on that, but we have a big pork. But I feel like other states. I'm gonna give us 3 on that.
You're right, and you being the CEO of Smoking Hills, aka one of the best barbecue places in all the land, I would expect you to know that little bit. Do you smoke pork more than anything else, or you do a lot of everything?
I started cooking pork first. Yeah, I'd probably say pork is probably my number one thing so far. I've been switching up the brisket a lot more here lately too, so. But
excuse me, Mr. Sadete. Excuse me. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and fire some off. For those of you who aren't from North Carolina, some of these stats might be a little opinionated. Some of these stats might be lacking actuality. But for us from the home state of North Carolina, we know all these things to be true. North Carolina is the birthplace of such dominating sports teams such as the Carolina Panthers, the Charlotte Hornets, Hendrick Motorsports, Eastern Randolph Wildcats, go Wildcats, and it's all about them Carolina Tar Heels. I do hear there's other Division I sports teams in North Carolina, but all I know is what you got, Reese?
I can't recall none. I'm sorry.
I can't think of any, and the only other collegiate sports team I can actually think of is North Carolina A&T Aggies. Aggie Pride.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's the only other one I can think of. And in addition to all those lovely stats and those high rankings, North Carolina is also one of the top-ranked states for paranormal activity, which is what we're going to talk about today. We're getting directly into North Carolina's haunted folklore. So, when I started doing research on this, I just found it extremely appropriate for this time of year as we're getting into Halloween. Do you believe in paranormal activity or spirituality? Are you sensitive in that way?
I don't know if I believe it or not, or I don't want to believe it because I don't want to be scared, or what it is. But they're possibly. I mean, I've heard of a couple different things, man, of stories about North Carolina, but I ain't going out searching for it.
Which ones are you most familiar with? What's one in particular?
Like the Devil Stomping Ground, or there's that one. Excuse me. There's that one hill where if you go park your car and put it in neutral or something like that, and the car will go uphill instead of rolling backwards like the way that it seems like it should be. And something, you put baby powder on your trunk or something like that?
And
you'll have handprints on it.
Yep. I couldn't remember if that was a home state or not. I'm so glad you brought that one up. But
I ain't messing with that.
Yeah, you brought up some real good ones, man. Have you heard of the ghost in Biltmore Estates?
I mean, you gotta expect something to be out there.
You got to as old and as ain't no telling what kind of trifling
places,
man.
Yeah,
but
ain't no telling what type of parties they had out there.
Yeah, so supposedly Biltmore Estates has a shadow person that can be seen in that library from time to time. People have encountered whispers of the wife, Miss Edith, whispering George when in specific hallways. And then the other one is... But first, have you been to Biltmore?
I haven't. Amy's she's performed out there, and she's walked the grounds at night, and she thought it was kind of creepy.
It's eerie. It's very eerie. Yeah. But also, you and Amy should make a trip out of it. Get the babysitter or leave them kids, dump them off somewhere, and y'all go up there and do a wine tasting event. It's gorgeous for that. But yeah, it's got some creepy stuff going on. But when y'all go, take the tour and kind of hang back when you're in that pool area. They got this massive underground pool.
I'll find a place.
Supposedly, you can hear a type of pool party happening, even though it's completely empty and quiet. Soft music, glass chattering, and conversations happening around you, even though clearly there's none of that going on.
Why would I want to do that?
Hey man, some people like to be creeped out.
No, ain't no need for all that.
What about Fort Fisher and Wilmington? Have you heard of the ghost that hunts Fort Fisher?
Sheesh, we were just there in July, and that's where Amy shot her music video at. Was at Fort Fisher too.
And y'all were there?
Oh yeah, you know those tangly trees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We always thought it was weird because in one of her scenes in the music video where she's standing in front of the trees and like dancing, acting all seductive and stuff like that. If you look in the back corner in her video, there's some legs dangling like somebody hung themselves.
Hell no! Are you serious?
Yeah, so y'all go to AB Hill's YouTube page and watch the video Oceans and tell me if y'all don't see it over her shoulder.
Hey, you got to give us a timestamp. If you give us a timestamp, I will. I'll make it one of the feature stories on the IG page.
No, just watch the whole thing. Get us some views up. I'm just playing about that.
No.
I just want y'all to go watch.
No. You know what? Y'all watch the whole thing and y'all tell us what y'all think the timestamp is. That's what we'll do.
Hey, when y'all go watch it, I want y'all to, in the comments put #IDBK just to know that y'all been there. Y'all been looking and put the stop and put the timestamp.
Yo, you're literally giving me the heebie-jeebies. That made me very uncomfortable. When I get uncomfortable, my eyes water a little bit when it's something deal with the supernatural.
Yeah.
But supposedly Fort Fisher has this parapet or this elevated wall where you do a lookout from within the fort. And on certain nights, General W.H.C. Whiting is seen overlooking the fort.
I'm out. I'm out. I already knew what that fight was for down there, and his last name told me all I need to know. I'm good. It's probably only a certain type of people he haunting too. No, I'm good.
That was the Civil War, right?
Yeah,
the Civil War. W. Whiting, he's still out there. He ain't trying to see us, Reese. He don't.
Hey. He ain't. No, I'm good.
I only hunt the blacks.
Yeah, hey, he thinking we the scary people, we the shadow people. He's scaring us. He think we scaring him.
Get out of here, White. Just go home, man. Follow the heat, because I don't know if you're going to the light, brother. Follow the heat. But all right, and then you brought up one that is basically in our backyard, man. You brought up the Devil's Tramping Ground in Bear Creek, or I don't know. Did you know it was in Bear Creek? I always thought it was in Solid City.
Bro, I told you. Why would I have the address to these places? I don't need to know. I heard about it, but I was not sorting this out. Like, this is no fun for me.
Yeah. Apparently, it's right there by Solid City on the outskirts. And for those of you who don't quite know what the Devil's Tramping Ground is, it is a circular patch of blackened grass out in the forest near Harper's Crossroad. And apparently, no plants outside of this odd patch of grass, no other plants can be introduced to the soil there. They die. They don't stick. And also, if you sleep there, or if you leave items inside the circle or camp inside the circle, supposedly red eyes are seen staring back into the circle at night. You hear supernatural noises, be it voices, be it clicks and shuffles in the woods. You hear those things overnight, and items that are placed there and or people that actually try to sleep in a circle, the next morning they've been moved to the outside of the circle. Local legend believes that this is where the devil or the devil comes there on a pretty regular basis, and walks in circles while he thinks to himself of what mischief to create in the world the next day or the following day. So it's a little too close to home for me. I think I'm good on that one, man.
What do you mean? You in California, man? You ain't got nothing to worry about. Talking about too close for home.
You gonna be all right, man. You gonna make it through this episode.
What the hell is that? You might not call my name.
Hello, Maurice. Yo, low key.
I don't play around, man. This ain't fun to me.
Low key, if you was in the house and you knew you was by yourself and you just heard someone go, Maurice, what would you do, bro?
Hey, I don't even know. I don't even, bro. Hey, I ain't messing around.
No,
I ain't. Yeah, I mean, I ain't got nothing for you.
I'll be like, you hear me go, what? Who in my damn house? What you need? You don't pay rent here. You don't get to be here. Get out.
Yeah. That ain't no fun, man.
Nah, I'll be like, just keep the damn house, man. Just keep it. I'll be out.
You got it. You got it.
You want to be here that bad, you can have it. I don't even like it that much anyway.
Nah.
All right, but let me go ahead and click over to the main topic. So this was kind of a soft introduction to some of the folklore. I highly encourage you, if this is your jam, if these things interest you, North Carolina literally is like a cesspool of supernatural entities, elements. I think North Carolina is 232 years old. I forget, it's founded in 1790 or 1730-ish, something within that those stretch of decades. And we have everything from slave history to original settlements, all the way up to civil rights movement. So it's some bad blood in North Carolina, man. Ain't no telling what's still lingering.
You got the Wilmington massacre,
man,
stuff like that, man. You had in Greensboro, North Carolina, we had KKK shootouts with the police and this, man. Like, North Carolina got some history. A&T got history with the bleeding walls.
Yes.
Wasn't that it's huge, man.
Wait, bleeding walls are A&T? I ain't hear about that one. What you know?
I think it was where I feel like it was a police or something like that. Like, it was like a big shootout, man. I don't know for a fact, but it was like where they were shooting through walls. It was hitting people on the other side, and like, so that's why they said it was the bleeding walls, because people were getting killed inside and like the blood was coming out.
Oh, okay. I do know what you're talking about. I thought you meant like it's still like a supernatural haunt that happens to this day or something. No, I got you. I know what you're talking about.
This was real life. This wasn't no haunt.
Yeah, I got you. It was haunting, but it wasn't a haunt. I got you.
Yeah.
Well, here's one that always stood out to me, and this is what we're going to cover for the rest of the episode for sure. I remember specifically being a little kid and going to High Point City Lake. Did you ever go to High Point City Lake?
I've been once before, and this is like where we moved to is literally not nowhere from our house.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's still the place and the pool that it was when I was a little young North Carolinian, y'all should go. It's a lot of fun, especially if y'all just want to go have a cool day by a pool in a lake.
I'm never going again.
Oh, wait, what happened? You got a story?
No, whatever you're about to say, I'm never going again.
Okay, I got you. That's my slow moment. Okay, but let me get back to my story. My bad, y'all. My bad. I know the listeners be like, dang, they get distracted. We back. But yeah. So when I was a little kid, and I'm talking about maybe as old as middle school, but definitely from my first memories all the way up to middle school, High Point City Lake was our pool of choice. A lot of people in Randolph County would go to Lake Juneau. People in the Asheboro side had a couple of places on that side of town they would go to. But yeah, my mom, her sisters, all of them grew up in Greensboro, and then some of them moved to High Point. So we would always go to High Point City Lake just so it was an easy meeting place for everyone. But on Old Jamestown Road or Old High Point Road, and forgive me, somebody correct me in the comments, there's this little bit of a curvy 2-lane road that connects you from 421 to the High Point Road. I mean, to the High Point City Lake entrance. There's this one steep curve in that road, and you got to go under a bridge. Well, I always thought it was called the High Point Road Bridge, and I remember one specific night we were coming back from High Point City Lake. We were the kids that would stay there until they closed it, which is usually after dark. We were coming back. We were on the back of my dad's pickup truck. At the time, kids could still ride on the back of pickup trucks. And as we were going by, my dad said, hold your breath or Lydia will chase you. And I was just like, who the hell is a Lydia? You know, like, I said, what are we doing right now? I'm every bit of 5 years old, baby, you know? And so...
what cartoon had a character named Lydia?
I don't know. There's a cartoon character named Lydia?
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. But, yeah, so obviously me being a curious little kid who was afraid of everything, you know, I asked my brother and my cousin who were in the back of the truck with me. I was like, who's Lydia? And that's when they say, oh, Lydia is the ghost that haunts this bridge. And so that brings me to what I understand about the story. So here's the rumor, or here's how the interaction with Lydia supposedly goes. If you're traveling down this road, a pretty teenage girl in a white dress can be seen. She'll flag down drivers and ask them to give her a ride home. She'll direct you to the address, and as soon as you arrive, she vanishes. Now, there's different variations of this story. Some people say she has a bloody dress. She wears a bloody dress. Some people say it's just a pure white dress. Some people say she's semi-transparent. Others say she looks like a fully functioning, full-fleshed human. Excuse me. Some people say that you only see her on rainy prom nights. Some people say it doesn't matter. Just you see her during the summer. And then the last variation that I remember as a kid is when you got to the address, you would get out the car. She would ask you to go get her mom, and you would go knock on the door. The mom would open the door, and she would literally just look in the car and say, Lydia, right? Question mark, Lydia. And when you look back, nobody's in the car, you know? And so it's all these different variations of it. But yeah, as a kid, man, that thing creeped me out, Reese. I was day or night. If we were going to High Point City Lake, I was in the cab. I was not sitting on the back of that truck.
back there holding your breath.
Bruh, holding my breath like an idiot. And that had nothing to do with nothing in all these variations.
Listen to this. Whatever variation she came in, whether she was bloody, white, clear, her mama was at the door, her mama wasn't there. What dummy are you picking up any type of teenager on the side of the road?
That's what I was going to ask you next.
First of all, you know what I'm saying? Who are you? You a weirdo for real. I don't know. Like, none of those situations. And if I get to the house, say if I was one of those weirdos that would pick her up, what kind of command is it to go knock on the door for me? Honey, you home. You need to get up out of here.
You go knock on your door.
Yeah. What kind of mess is that?
Have me going to knock on this door at this house. I'm good.
Yeah, right. I'd rather have dinner with General Whiting. I ain't doing out of that mess.
All right, all jokes aside, right? So you have... Let me get this question off, all right? So you have teenage daughters, right? And so therefore you probably have I would assume you have like a soft spot for this. So if you're on a wooded area, a wooded curvy road, like my backdrop, right? And you see this little kid going by, you're not stopping to ask the kid, are they okay?
I'm not even being in that wooded area. Look at that woods. I'm not being there. Why would I be there? Why? I'm not. Look like a damn Halloween car commercial. I'm not being there. Commercial. I'm not. I didn't even see that little road behind you.
Oh yeah. You see what I did there?
Yeah, I'm not.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not.
All right, so
and I'm sorry, people. I'm not playing around with this mess. I'm not entertaining it. I'm not thinking it may be fun. If there was a little girl walking, and that's the thing, it could be a bright sunny day, and if I seen a little girl walking on the side of the road, I'm not stopping to get her. I might stop, but I'm calling 911 off the rip. Hell no.
Hey, dear viewers, just know Reese does not love the kids. He is not here to save your wandering daughters.
Listen. I am. But things get twisted too fast in a hurry. And I'm not. I'm not doing it.
Alright, so I'm going to say this. The visual of me as a 35-year-old black man in the backwoods of North Carolina picking up a little white girl in the woods, that's scarier than any ghost you could ever give me. I'm just shooting it straight.
Hey, that's a setup.
That's a setup.
That's a setup. I wish you would. Boy.
What am I gonna do? Take her to the police station? That's even more dangerous.
In a bloody dress.
No. 911, what's your emergency? 911, what's your emergency? I just seen a black man throw a little white girl off the car on I-85.
Hey. Ain't no damn way, man.
I ain't slowing down for nothing. She better know how to tuck and roll.
Yeah. I've had too many. I mean, I've watched too many movies, and I know. Hey, I'm just not. You seen what happened in Green Mile,
brother? I ain't even gonna talk about the scariest thing I've witnessed, and it ain't got nothing to do with no supernaturals. It was somebody with some red and blue lights pulling me over and addressing me as boy. You Gwen's boy. I was like, okay, all right, we're gonna get through this moment. That's the scariest thing in the world. Lydia, who? You don't know scary till you get pulled over by somebody says you Gwen's boy. But anyway. I'm laughing because I'm nervous.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back on topic.
Sorry.
I'm rolling in the. Never mind. I was trying to back up. You recall your joke. It didn't work. Okay.
Adele.
Yeah, I was trying to do the Adele joke.
Hey, and she's got an album coming out too.
Well, good for her. Good for her, man. I'm not the comedian that you are. That's what I just proved. Okay. But behind every good folklore, every good ghost story, every good legend is some sense of truth. And so I got real curious, right? Because I did a little bit of research. Reese, I know you did some research on this Lydias Bridge as well. And was digging around and found like in North Carolina, there's a couple of different haunted bridges with similar stories, but some of the details go way left in comparison. So within the research, I came across this 2007 WFMY News 2 investigative report on the Ghost Bridge, aka Lydias Bridge, and there was some like telling facts. Now, mind you, to give a little context to this, up until this point, nobody quite knew who this girl is, where she came from, or even her true age. Everyone, it was just so many different encounters with this ghost, quote unquote. So during this report, a ghost hunter by the name of Michael Regener allegedly spent 30 years researching this very specific ghost and believes that he found the real identity of this Lydia apparition. And so what he presented was a couple of articles, death certificate, and within the articles, he found one specifically that came out around June of 1920 in the Greensboro newspaper of that day. And basically it describes a fatal car crash on that very same stretch of road on a rainy summer night. The day of death was noted as June 21st, 1920, to be very specific. And essentially after this death, that's when the first reports of this ghost under the bridge started to pop up in the North Carolina zeitgeist. So what happened, according to the report, is on a rainy summer night, a car spun off the road. Some reports say it turned over. Some say it just crashed directly into the bridge. People were thrown from the car. 3 people survived. 1 died. The person who died, the name on record was Annie L. Jackson. Many believe that L in Annie's name stood for Lydia. The death report says that she died by being thrown from the vehicle and being either crushed by, I think it was crushed by the car or immediate impact after being tossed by the vehicle. I can't remember what was facts or not. But either way, this was the first time that someone was able to identify a fitting car crash and then able to trace back records of ghost sightings after that moment. So that's where it gets real creepy for me, because up until that point it's near he she say, right? But now we got a death, we got a cause of fatality, we have a matching name, and then we have quote unquote ghost sighting since that moment. So I toss it back to you, Reese. What's your spin on all this? What's your takeaway, man?
Somebody just let her rest in peace. Y'all keep on bringing this little girl back up in this, man. Y'all, I don't know. I just can't imagine this being a real person and us. When did you say the car crash that he thinks he linked it with? When did that car crash happen?
1920.
1920.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Just walk with me, okay? If this is, say this is a real person, Lydia's a real person or whatever. Could you imagine just being talked about for this many years after your death? You know what I'm saying? What if I was walking and I stopped by the 7-Eleven and got me a big old gulp and a hot dog, okay? And I was walking under, just me.
This is ghost you or real you?
This is real me. This is me.
Okay.
My car broke down, okay? Stopped by the 7-Eleven, got me a drink and a hot dog, okay? Walking, going to this bridge, and I take a big bite of that hot dog, and all of a sudden I get choked and I can't breathe, and I die under that bridge. And that's all I was doing, just eating a hot dog on the way home. And then for hundreds of years, people named that bridge Reese Bridge.
They were named Hot Dog Reese Bridge.
Hot dog Reese. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and they'd say anytime you rode under that bridge with a hot dog, you come out from the other side with chili on it.
Okay. That was not worth the setup.
No,
that's a joke as bad as mine.
But listen though. For hundreds of years, people talked about me, and all I did was walk under a bridge, eating a hot dog, and got choked. You know what I'm saying? Could you imagine getting brought up and your name just being carried around this world
every summer?
I Don't Be Knowing podcast, and you just living your life regular. You ain't trying to haunt nobody.
That's facts. You are very respectful of the dead at this point. I appreciate that about you.
I ain't got no problem with it.
All right. So Lydia, if you're still out there, don't go see Reese, okay? He respects you.
I'm good. You rest in peace, honey.
Yeah, what she brought you a hot dog?
Hey, I ain't picking you up. I don't care. Lydia, you want to walk.
Yo.
You should be there by now. You've been dead long enough.
You should be there by now. Oh,
you should be there by now.
Well,
hey.
Sadly, that's probably a really good segue. I remember a little. It was high school because I was driving when this article came out. I think it was on Fox News, Fox 8 at the time. An article came back around about Lydias Bridge. And people were saying that they haven't seen the ghost in a while. And someone had mentioned in the article that the mother had recently passed. Therefore, Lydia didn't have a home to go to anymore, so she wasn't showing up asking for rides anymore. So with that, yeah, I guess she finally went home or went away. But yeah, it's such a sad, tragic, haunting story. It's so scary to me, man. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I got regrets about doing this episode now.
Man, don't talk like that, man. It's still daylight where you at. Is it daylight outside?
Do you live in a wooded area?
Still?
No. Now it's done. The sun's gone down at this point. You live in a wooded area?
Not really.
Okay, good. But okay. Y'all can see Reese's face right now. But yeah, so On that note, I think that brings us to a pretty decent stopping point on North Carolina folklore. If you know any good North Carolina folklore that we might have missed, or that you'd like us to cover maybe in a future Halloween episode or a bonus supernatural episode, let us know. Where Reese isn't into that like that, I am.
Hot dog man.
Hot dog man. Hot dog man. That's sad. You know what?
Hey.
What if you only showed up on nights where Duke loses by 5 points or less? You show up with the choke side because you're choking on the hot dog, but everybody thinks you're mocking Duke.
You come out there shaking your hot dog.
All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get up out of here. We were doing
Hey,
we were doing good.
Playing hot dog is all the way now.
All right. So if you're interested in any of these stories that we've covered, Google is your friend, but I'll give you some specific sources that I drew the information from preparing for this episode. First and foremost, I drew it from my dad, who told me to hold my breath. I still don't know why. Also, WFMY News 2 was the news source cited in all of this. Roadside Revenants and Other North Carolina Ghosts and Legend is a book by the researcher I mentioned. His name is Michael Rigener. He covers a lot more information on his research and paranormal activity based in North Carolina, specifically Lydia. Also go to nc.gov, spectrumlocalnews.com, and then ncpedia.com as well. Reese, I think we're going to go ahead and wind this episode down. Actually, we're going to go into our bonus content where we continue to talk about some supernatural elements and some supernatural incidents that we've both had encounters with. But if you want to listen to that, it ain't happening on this episode of the podcast. You got to go to our Instagram and you'll catch those in the bonus content playlist on our IG. Reese, where do they go to find us?
I don't be knowing.
That's it. IG. That's it. It's easy, guys. It's at I Don't Be Knowing, and it is spelled the correct way. Go find us.
Just think about it, guys. If you get to Instagram and you go to search and you can't remember or you don't know what it was, you already know.
You already know. You already know.
I don't be knowing. If you don't know it, you already know it.
I don't be knowing. That's
put that on a t-shirt.
Exactly. We gotta get some merch going, man. If y'all are interested in merch, let us know. We need to know before we throw money on this stuff. But up until this point, this has been a very excellent episode of the podcast. Reese, I thank you again for coming and making this happen with me, brother.
You're welcome. I'm sorry, people. I know I'm a little rough today. I had to be funny from not being scared.
We cope with our fears by bringing in humor for sure. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you eat your hot dog slow. I've been Trox.
It's your boy.
And we are going to see y'all on the next episode where we talk about these thugs, these creepy thugs with the smiling faces. Until then, let's be friends, people.
Let's be friends.
All right, y'all. Catch y'all episode 21.